The Rams would like to buy a Val, pretty expensive Val, 5 years, $50 million. But of course, we know how that goes when it's time to dig into the details of the Bobby Wagner deal. It's not going to be 5 years, $50 million, but he is the latest member of the Rams. I saw Charles Robinson tweet yesterday an alteration of the Les Snead F Them Picks T-shirt. It now says F That Cap because they keep finding a way to get big-name players under the cap. I mean, look at it. Each level of the defense now. You got an all-time great, Aaron Donald on the line, Bobby Wagner, linebacker, Jalen Ramsey, corner. Not that Ramsey is all-time great, but right now one of the best in the league at his position and could be on track to be an all-time great. But an amazing accomplishment for a team that is known for offense. Pretty good defense, and defense gets a little better with Bobby Wagner.
Mike, 2 points to make about this, and I know we got to go in hurry-up mode in this for a few segments, but 2 points to make on this. Number one, I was told yesterday if Von Miller signed with the Rams, they would not have even entertained a conversation with Bobby Wagner because they would have spent their gathered up all the pocket change they had to make sure that they could keep Von Miller. When Von Miller left, they had a little discretionary income that they could spread around how they wanted to. Number two, I think the key to this contract, whenever it is publicized, you will see that the Rams basically said to Bobby Wagner, look, we would love to have you, but here's what we can pay. And because Bobby Wagner is his own agent and was negotiating himself, I'm sure with help from whoever, but because he was negotiating himself, there was no filter of an agent between him and Tony Pastores, who was negotiating the contract. He's the cap guy negotiator for the Rams. There was nothing between them. There was just Pastores would say, listen, here's what we can afford. And for those people who say 5 years, $50 million, how does that happen? Look, you'll see with the cap when you see the contract that this probably is a 2-year contract that if they have to get out of it after 1 year, they'll have a minimum amount of pain. And the fact that the Rams were negotiating from a strong position. We have a young player at your position who we really like, and that there was not desperation in going to get Bobby Wagner, I believe helped them sign Bobby Wagner.
I suspect Bobby Wagner's position was, I know what I want, and I'm not signing until I get it. And I think the Rams had to tell him at some point, well, look, we do have only so many dollars to spend, and what we would be willing to do now, you just can't assume that you can wait until July or August and that's still going to be there. We have to move on at some point. So you have to ask yourself, what am I waiting for, and what am I going to get if I keep waiting? And am I going to put myself in a position where what's available to me, either from the Rams, the Ravens, or anyone else, isn't going to be close to what would be available today? And I think that's part of the tough conversation you need to have with a guy who knows he's going to be making less than he wanted, but the longer he waits, the less is going to be available, quite possibly. So he makes the move, they make the move, they add Bobby Wagner to that defense. And, quietly, Peter, I mentioned this yesterday, I think, to Miles Simmons. Last year, there was so much talk of the Buccaneers repeating. There's been no talk of the Rams repeating. There should be, because the NFC has weakened across the board, except for the Buccaneers, although they're without their head coach now, which is not as simple as I think we're assuming. But the Rams have stayed pretty strong. We showed the list earlier of all the guys who left and the guys they've added. Well, okay, fine, Super Bowl champion's going to lose guys. But I feel like they are a team, and you see that they're behind the Buccaneers in the odds from PointsBet as to being the next NFL champion. I think the Rams probably should be taken a lot more seriously as a team to repeat at least as the NFC champion. Whether or not they win the Super Bowl is going to be a different issue.
I think when I look at those odds, and look, as you know, Mike, odds makers make odds to get people to bet, to motivate people to bet on both sides of a bet. So I think you could look at those and say, wow, the Rams are pretty far down. Maybe they shouldn't be far down. But you know what that what those odds. Can we put that up one more time? There's one thing about gambling and odds that I think people need to realize. Like, a lot of people, their fun team this year, their pet team, is the Los Angeles Chargers. I've been thinking a lot about the Chargers. They've had a great offseason. And what if you can sort of get in your head that they're going to be really, really good this year? But the problem with loving the Chargers is they're in the AFC West. Right. And so it's going to be very hard to win home field through the playoffs if you're a team in the AFC West this year. I'm not saying it's impossible. Somebody might go 14-3 and win that. But look at the teams at the top. The Buffalo Bills. Other than the Patriots, Miami's going to be improved, but they're going to have a good division record. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers might go 6-0 in their division. Who knows? I don't know. They might lose to New Orleans again. And the Green Bay Packers could go 6-0 in their division. When you have a soft division schedule, you have the ability to have a much better regular season record. Home playoff games, although not essential, have usually equated to advancing deep into the playoffs.
The other reality, too, odds like these that you see on the screen, they're a reflection of the action that has been placed to date. The more that gets placed on a team, the odds go one way, the less they go the other. And I think the Rams are at plus 1,100, which is 11-1, because not many people are betting on them. Because, Peter, the point you made about the Chargers, look at this. 3 teams from the AFC West are on this chart. The Chiefs at 10-1, the Broncos at 16-1, thank you, Russell Wilson, and the Chargers at 16-1, all in the same damn division. That's a reflection of people saying these are the teams that we're smitten with going into 2022. And that's where, for the people who are inclined to wager, that's where you can cut through the notion of the teams that are overlooked, and the ones that are overlooked that maybe should take them more seriously become the value bets. And I think the Rams are a value when you consider what's gone on in the NFC this year with the migration of talent from one conference to the other. The Rams have to be feeling pretty good. Devontae Adams is gone. Oh, that's a shame. Bruce Arians is gone. Oh, that's a shame. And the Rams just keep getting stronger. Aaron Donald's back. Sean McVay's back. Bobby Wagner's in. Yeah, Von Miller's gone, but we have Matthew Stafford signed, and he's going to be around for 5 more years, so they have to be feeling pretty good about where they are.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.